Hey, what's up everybody? It is Uncle Mad here today with some very exciting news for you. It is that time of year again. Me and Jesta's anniversary has arrived, and if you follow the channel, you know every year we take a little vacation to celebrate and honor and pay tribute to our love and another year in the books of all that. So we will once again be returning to a Bahia Principe Resort. But this year, we're going to one we haven't been to before. We've done Mexico, we've done Dominican Republic. This year, we are going to Runaway Bay, Jamaica. So very exciting to be going to a new location, a new resort that we haven't seen before. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the bell turned on for notifications so you get all the vlogs from that. Go back and watch last year's vlogs from Mexico if you haven't seen those yet. But today, I want to do something a little different. See, last year when we posted the Mexico vlogs, they did kind of standard numbers when I first released them, kind of about the same as what any of my other videos do, nothing big deal, anything like that. But over time, they like blew up and became some of my most watched videos. And I was constantly getting comments, constantly getting questions, people asking about the resorts, about Bahia, about our experience there, about, you know, different things about the resorts. And I was like, it never occurred to me in my dumb brain that, hey, these videos could actually be helpful and like informative to people. They're mostly just me being an idiot and making bad jokes. But I thought for this trip, since that was such a big thing last year, and since we're going to a new resort that's new to us, we could maybe try to lean into the information side of things a little bit more in this vlog series, be a little bit more informative, a little bit more helpful for people who might be considering going to this resort themselves. So I thought the best way to do that, to start things off, would be, before we even leave, let's sit down, let's do a kind of pre-trip video, talk about Privilege Club. What is it? How did we get signed up for it? Talk about booking the resort, talk about booking our air travel, talk about booking our transportation to and from the airport. All the stuff that goes into taking a vacation like this. Let's just do a video where we talk it through and share our experience with people, so that if it's helpful, great. If not, I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna go get Jessica because she's actually the one that handles all this type of stuff, so I would just be misinformed and giving bad information if I try to do it. So let's go see what Jessica's doing, see if she can provide some information about what it goes into booking a Bahia Principe vacation. Okay, I have acquired Jessica for this part of the video so that she can teach us all a little bit more about traveling to beautiful Bahia Principe resorts. So I think the first thing we should address, because booking for us, traveling for us, is a little different than, you know, somebody who may be just going for the first time to one of these resorts, because we are members of the Privilege Club. It's a timeshare. Basically, it's a timeshare that gets you perks when you're at the resorts, but just to swears, the money worked out, the numbers were good, and we didn't get scammed like everybody else who's ever bought a timeshare in the history of timeshares. So just to tell everybody what the Privilege Club is, how you got tricked, how you decided to sign up for it, and how that factors into booking these vacations.
Okay, so what the Privilege Club is you take your regular Bahia vacation and you have added stuff on top of it. Like, you have private beaches, you don't have to pay for premium liquor, you have private carts as opposed to riding the trolley. Now there's some stuff that's actually gone away that we had, that we like. So when you booked with Bahia originally before COVID, you only got 3 a la carte dinners per 7 days. And Privilege Club, we have unlimited, so we can have as many days as you're staying. You can have dinners every night. Well, now after COVID, I'm guessing because they want to sell more rooms and they need to make it a little bit more, you know, enticing for people to go, they now offer 7 days of dinners. So things like that.
To everybody, not just Privilege Club members.
Yeah, to everybody. So that was something that used to be a privilege that we had before that we no longer have. Another thing is, when you go to these different resorts, there are a bunch of different hotels within a larger resort, and based on which hotel you're staying at within the resort, you can't use certain amenities of the other hotels because they're price tiered. Well, if you are a member of the Privilege Club, you can actually go to any resort, any hotel within the resort that you want, and eat at their restaurants, eat at their buffets, go to their pools, do all of those things without having to be part of that hotel. and part of the tiered structure. Like normally if you go to a place like that, you'll see people have different colored bracelets, and that's what says where they can go. The only exception to that is the Fantasia resorts, or hotels in the resorts, which are like their high-end luxury children resorts, which I understand that they claim it's a security thing, that they don't want people that are not staying with children at going to the children's resort. Did I miss anything about what it is?
I don't think so. Do you have any recommendations if somebody was considering joining the Privilege Club of how to make sure, thank you for joining us, Larry, how to make sure they get the price right, or what the numbers they should be trying to get are?
This is where people get scammed. When they offered this to us when we first got there, they said for the low price of $25,000, you would get 30 weeks member, and then another 30 weeks preferential, whatever. Well, I'm not paying $25,000. And the thing is, on that day, it was pouring rain, and I had time. So how long would you think we were there for? 6, 7 hours?
Hours. It was an entire day.
Yeah, we were there all day.
They locked us in a room and wouldn't let us leave till you bought a timeshare.
We got the price all the way down to $8,000. And the way I did the math is, what you have to do is you take the 30 preferential weeks and then the 30 member weeks. That's 60. I divided 8,000 by 60. I can't do that math in my head right now. Whatever that price is, that on top of whatever the cost is how much we were paying per vacation for those extra privileges. Like my favorite one, truthfully, is the private beach. That we don't have to go and try to fight people for chairs. You know, there's always a private beach for us. I would have paid just for that alone. But the math worked out, and then I also did a little bit more math in my head, and if we went on 3 or 4 trips, I can't remember exactly what it was, we would have paid off the $8,000. So basically we're getting these privileges on top of our vacation cost basically for free. So we're paying the same amount that a regular person would pay going to the resort, but we're getting all of these extra things. And after 4 trips, it paid off.
Now, one of the things that seems to usually be the issues with timeshares is people always say, well, if you use it, you'll get your money's worth, but it seems like a lot of the timeshare companies make it very difficult for you to be actually able to use it with like blackout dates, and you only get a certain amount of points or something like that per year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like we've had no real issue utilizing. Now, granted, I know there are some blackout dates, but they kind of work out pretty well we usually travel in November when it's not blacked out, so we haven't had issues.
Well,
we haven't been able to like, oh, we want to use our timeshare, but the dates are all blacked out and we can't go. That hasn't been a problem for us.
Well, there's no point system with the one that we have. It's just weeks. You can use them when you want within the package you purchased. So we purchased what's called the gold package, and that is May and June, and then September to December. And the only time in December that you can't go is you can't go on Christmas and you can't go on New Year's, like on the holiday itself. You can go right up to it. You just can't be on the holiday. And that's actually the cheapest one that you can purchase, and we purchased that because I personally like to go away in March, but because I married somebody who can't because of soccer,
I probably can't now.
The next highest tiered price included the spring, which we can't go anyway because of his job. So it worked out. So that's the only thing, like blackout dates, is we do have times of year that we can go, but it's pretty big. Like I like to go in May, September, and November. Those are my favorite times to go in our time frame.
So looking at this specific resort, we've been to Mexico, we've been to Dominican Republic, Tulum in Mexico, Punta Cana in Dominican Republic. What made you decide to switch it up and let's go to Runaway Bay in Jamaica this year?
Well, we haven't been to this one yet. it's one of their higher tiered ones. Supposedly it's one of their nicer ones. Up until they redid Ambar in Dominican Republic, it was the nicest one. It was the highest cost one to go to. So I wanted to try it out. I've never been to Jamaica, and they have a fully nude beach.
So what was the booking process like? How far out did you have to do it? Were there any benefits we got from Privilege Club in the booking process? Share details about that, because that's the next step. If you've decided you want to go, you got to book it.
The Privilege Club has its own web portal, which is trash. As somebody who worked in IT for years, it is awful.
I don't remember which trip it was, but we went on one trip and they had signs all over the resort that said, "Try our new app." And the app was a website.
It's terrible.
And it was terrible. It wasn't an app. It was literally a website.
It was
and
a
I thought
mobile
it was
site.
very funny.
It wasn't even mobile.
Yeah, I thought it was very funny that they directed you, try our app for booking reservations and room service and stuff like that. And it was like, this is just a website and it's also a bad website.
They have an app now that you can do your room service and everything, and it's not bad, but this was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, back to what you were saying.
Oh yeah, so
the portal is bad for Privilege Club members.
Yeah, there's a portal. That's where I book the trips. They claim that you can get discount flights with Privilege Club. They're not discounted. They're the same as anywhere else. In fact, I think they're more expensive and just not as flexible. So I usually book it directly through the portal. Once I figure out the dates that we want to go, we book usually in February because we use our tax return money to just book out very early, which also helps with plane tickets. And then we book plane tickets separately. I'm an American Airlines frequent flyer, so I have points with them, and we get certain perks if we fly American Airlines. So that's how I kind of do that. Yeah, I think that's it for the portal.
Cool. So now this one specifically, we seem to have like a different setup for transport from the airport to the hotel. And, was that something that was set up Privilege Club? Did you find out about that on your own? Is this a Jamaica thing that wasn't available at other spots? This is one of the things that's very interesting to me because it seems like it's going to be the best airport transport from the airport to the resort we've ever had. So,
okay.
What's the deal?
You have it backwards. Yeah. So airport transfers, usually I would have the Privilege Club book them, but the last couple times I haven't liked the transportation they provided, so I've switched to using private transports where I'm in a Facebook group with other members and just ask for recommendations for different areas wherever we're staying. So I booked that separately through Facebook. A gentleman by the name of Brad Koch, I believe, and he's super nice. But the other thing that you're talking about is we have Priority Pass and Admirals Club lounge access at airports, and Priority Pass has a lounge in the Jamaican airport. So I was looking it up, trying to see how that worked, and a lot of people were saying Priority Pass members are getting turned away because there's not room for them. So I wanted to figure out why, because I don't like to be in an airport without a lounge because I'm a little bougie like that and I don't like crowds. So I started looking that up, and apparently they have a arrivals lounge and a departures lounge that you can pay for, where they pick you up off the plane, they handle all of your customs, they bring you into the lounge with drinks and all of that, and then they'll bring you to your transport to go to your hotel. And they also do it coming back. So the way the Priority Pass worked is it was $80 a person, I think, for the arrival, and then I think it was $50 a person for the departure. But if you were a Priority Pass member, the departure actually only costs, I think, like $5 a person. So it only cost us $10 for our departure access, and since we did pay for that and reserved it, we won't be turned away as Priority Pass members. And then I did pay the extra for, I know, right? Well, I paid for it, so I got tickets. And then I paid the extra for the arrival stuff just to get through customs, because I'm a little anal retentive when it comes to stuff like this, and I overplan things, and I've never been to the Jamaica airport. I've been to Cancun airport many times, Punta Cana airport many times. I know them inside and out. I know how they work. I've never been to the Jamaica airport, so I'm a little nervous about going through there just because I don't know it. So I'd rather have something like this the first time I went, and I'll probably get it if we go again, but yeah, I'd rather have something like this and somebody get me through customs than having, do it on our own and not know.
Okay, so the only other pre-arrival thing that I think we've kind of dealt with, and when I say we, I of course mean just her, I'm not doing anything, is booking our a la carte dining reservations. Now these resorts, if you've never been to one before, if you haven't seen the previous videos, there's buffets all over the resorts. There's multiple buffets that you can go to for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that you can eat at any time you want. But as she mentioned, you usually get 3 included in your standard package of the a la carte restaurants, which are basically sit-down restaurants where you order off the menu as opposed to a buffet style. Privilege Club members, we used to get 7, that was a special perk, but now according to Jesta, she believes everybody's getting 7 because they're trying to get more people back into traveling, which makes sense, whatever, it is what it is. But it seems like whether it's everybody getting 7 days or other things, there's been some challenges that we haven't had before. So talk about the booking of our dining reservations pre-arrival that you've been dealing with the last couple weeks.
Okay, so this goes back to the Privilege Club's portal being trash. So one of the other privileges that you're supposed to get is you can do a pre-check-in 2 weeks before you arrive. Normally with the resort, it's 5 days. So we can actually pre-check in 2 weeks ahead of time, but you have to use their Privilege Club app, which the problem is whenever you're trying to get your passport scanned into that, because that's the way you have to check in, is you do have to provide a picture of your passport. Well, their website doesn't work. Like whenever I try to open that up, like as a developer, like I actually know what's wrong with it, and it's really stupid. They don't have where you can like hit the button and upload files. You have to use a picture, and then it doesn't work with your phone, so you can't do that. But when you check in 2 weeks early, you also, as soon as you check in, putting all that information in, you get access to book your restaurants, which means you can do it way ahead of people and not have to worry about not getting into the restaurants you want. Well, since that didn't work, I had to use the regular resorts pre-check-in, and that was 5 days before, and the majority of the restaurants that I wanted to get into were already booked. So I got into, I believe we have 5 of them now, but the 2 days that I left off are the one restaurant that I can't get into, that I'm trying desperately to get into. I wanted it for both of those days. I have alerts on my phone for every day to get up and check the booking site, because it still doesn't allow me to book for Monday. Like it only has up to Sunday for some reason, and I'm waiting for Monday to pop open so I can at least book Monday.
And you said at one point in time that it looks like maybe the restaurants aren't open every night, so that might also be part of the reason that reservations are harder to come by, is that maybe they're pushing people more to the buffets and only running limited service at the main restaurants, because I believe you also mentioned Jamaica has been one of the ones that's been a little bit slower getting back up to full speed post-COVID.
Yeah, they were one of the last ones to open back up because the island itself had a lot of COVID protocols and it was just more difficult to travel there. I have noticed that some of the restaurants aren't open every day, the one being the one that we're trying to get into. And then I think it's because more people have restaurant reservations now. If you think about it, before, if there was people there for 7 days, they only could book 3 restaurants. Well, now those same people can book 7 restaurants. So a lot of those spaces are gone where it used to not be that This is the first time I've ever had difficulty getting into restaurants. But they did say when we go in, it's another perk of being part of the Privilege Club, that they can try calling the manager of the restaurant the night that we want to get in and see if they can move some stuff around and maybe get us in there. Because I did let them know that the Tuesday that I left open, that we wanted to go to Don Pablo, is actually the night we were supposed to be celebrating our anniversary. So I'm hoping that might be enough to kind of push them to get us a table.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that was the main areas that I thought needed to be covered. Did you have any other things you wanted to comment on? Any tips, tricks, recommendations, suggestions you would provide to the people who might be considering a vacation such as this one?
Just pre-plan everything. A lot of people I've seen were like, oh, well, we'll just book, our restaurants when we get there. Don't do that. I know the tech is not easy to figure out, but try as hard as you can, or call them and try to book restaurants, because you're not going to get restaurants and you're going to be disappointed because you're going to have to eat at the buffet every day. So that's probably the biggest.
Buffet's no slouch, but those,
it's not, but
the specialty restaurants are
really nice.
Okay, well, if that's all you have to share, thank you, Jesta, for taking some time out of your evening. I should probably start packing at some point in time soon. We leave bright and early in the morning. I'm shooting here. We leave bright and early in the morning. I gotta get to packing. I'll go do that, I guess. Right after Monday Night Football. Alright, that is gonna do it for this pre-trip vlog. Once again, thank you to Jesta for all that helpful information. I hope if you're somebody who's considering going to one of the Bahia Principe Resorts, specifically even Runaway Bay like where we're going, this was helpful and informative for you, and not just us blabbering on and being boring. The more fun vlogs are coming because we fly out tomorrow morning for Jamaica. Full series of vlogs will come after that. It'll be a little while down the road from when you see this one to when those come out, because one thing I don't do is I do not edit when I'm on vacation, just because by far the most annoying thing about making these vlogs is editing, and that's the last thing I want to do when I'm trying to relax and be on vacation, is take an hour, hour and a half out of my day to like shunt together whatever we've shot for that. So hats off to like the daily vloggers who are able to do that, who are able to just like I'm done for the day at 5 o'clock, I gotta go home and edit. I can't do that. So there'll be a little gap between this video and when the vacation videos themselves start airing, but to make sure you don't miss those when they start popping off, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Turn the bell on for notifications so you don't miss a single one of the vacation videos or any other of the fun stuff that's going to be coming up in the channel. Holidays are right around the corner. You know we're going to be getting to the holiday spirit around here. Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of that and much more. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in Jamaica. I'm going to be there, but you'll see me there. Maybe you can join us. We've given you all the information you need to be able to join us. Hope to see you there.